So, welcome to another episode. I'm going to try a new format out here. So, as you can see by the title of the video, the fans are a little bit upset heading into WrestleMania 33 as they begin to realize, and the matches are starting to materialize. And yes, the old dirty word, part timers. How many times have we heard that word, part timers? The fans hate part timers. Part timers don't deserve the top spot. Well, why are they part timers? They're part timers because they can be part timers. Their name's big enough. And who are these part timers? It all started back with The Rock. When he came back, John Cena started all that. He told The Rock, "You're just a part timer. I'm here for life. This is my life." Yeah, right. We know how Cena now is finally got the call from Hollywood, and he barely wrestles anymore. But I'm going to show you some comments I had to respond to, and I don't know why I do it, but I'm like a fly to I'm like an insect to light, and I have to just respond sometimes. So he says, "What does it say when the biggest match they're going for features a guy who was in his prime in 1998 and another guy who was barely there?" Well, it tells me that the guy from 1998, Bill Goldberg, is still popular. He can still draw money, and he's still quite believable, don't you think? Haven't you seen the reactions he's gotten since he's come back? And I can still hear the Goldberg chants. And the other guy who was barely there, oh, they must mean Brock Lesnar. Well, like I said, he doesn't have to be there. It's redundant for him to be there. What is Brock Lesnar going to do on TV every week? Beat up half the roster? He wouldn't be very special if he was there every week. It would be boring. And then the same fans would be yelling and screaming how Brock Lesnar is too strong and he's not putting over the talent, the younger stars. But it tells me that Vince McMahon, for WrestleMania, his motto has been to make the biggest matches with the biggest names possible. So then he says, sacrificing long-term business for short-term is foolish. Yeah, WCW knows about that. But Vince McMahon wants big business today, because if there's no big business today, you won't have to think about the long term. Did we forget last year's WrestleMania main event with the genius Triple H against boring Reigns in the main event? 28 minutes, one of the worst main events in WrestleMania history. Oh yeah, and Roman Reigns got booed again. Vince is all about the money. He wants to promote WrestleMania to the biggest audience possible. WrestleMania caters to the mainstream audience, not the average fan. I mean, when WrestleMania is it's time to do promotion around different TV shows like ESPN and Good Morning America, whatever it is, and you have Brock and Goldberg on these shows. People know who they are. People still know who they are. Old fans will say, "Oh wow, I remember that guy Goldberg. Yeah, he was awesome. Oh wow, he's wrestling in WrestleMania. Well, I gotta watch. Wow, he's going up against Brock Lesnar. Wow, I gotta see that." And then those fans, or the casual fans who don't really watch wrestling, oh, but they see these two guys and they say, "Wow, yeah, these I've heard of Brock Lesnar. He's the guy from UFC," and they'll tune into WrestleMania, and it'll give the chance, it'll give fans a chance to see wrestlers or performers they never saw before, or they really never were interested in. That's your young talent or unknown. So then, of course, after Fastlane, it triggered. These fans are triggered by Fastlane. They already started getting paranoid and of what's going to happen at WrestleMania. I called Fastlane a giant dump on the business. Although I am happy with 90% of Mania's card, minus two things: Lesnar, Goldberg should not be for the title as they are two part-timers. Well, who cares? It doesn't. It makes it a bigger match. If Vince McMahon wants to make the biggest match with the biggest names, and how many more chances will the WWE universe get a chance to see Brock versus Goldberg for the title at WrestleMania, i.e., taking a giant dump? Well, maybe you shouldn't eat too many tacos while you're watching Fastlane. And Roman has no right facing yet along. I guess he meant yet along. I don't know. Beating Taker. He already has. They already paranoid that Roman Reigns is going to beat Undertaker. Regardless of how much of a workhorse he is. Reigns, if and only if he wins, has no business retiring Taker. Well, okay. Well, who said that Undertaker's retiring? I didn't hear any announcements. Did you? And again, who says that Roman Reigns is beating The Undertaker? Only saying this because many sources speculate. Who are these sources? Your friends? Other people online? The dirt sheets? Not saying, and please God, I hope it doesn't happen. Well, you don't have to uh, pray too much because I doubt it's going to happen. I've been saying that the only way that Roman Reigns beats The Undertaker is if they finally pull the trigger and turn Roman Reigns full heel. You already heard on Raw last night. Roman got booed. The fans were chanting Roman sucks during his segment with The Undertaker, and The Undertaker choke slammed him, and the crowd went nuts. And if you caught it last night on Raw, they muted it under the cheers when Undertaker choke slammed Roman Reigns. Listen, that's WWE better address this because it's going to come to a head at WrestleMania. I mean, how much longer can we go with these opposite fan reactions? The Undertaker's supposed to be the big bad guy, the big evil guy. Roman's supposed to be the hero, but again, it's the opposite. Just like a Fastlane, Braun Strowman was getting cheered. Braun Strowman, who is the monster heel, was getting cheered, and Roman, who's supposed to be the hero, was getting booed. The fans wanted Braun Strowman to kick the crap out of Roman. I mean, I don't know if you guys have watched, guys and girls have watched the Superman movie with Superman versus General Zod. General Zod is the evil bad guy, the villain. And how would you react if you saw the people of Metropolis cheering for General Zod, or the people in the movie theater cheering for General Zod to kill Superman? Yeah. Well, and then he says, I have been guilty of doing such. Of what you said just now, I would be a liar if I didn't. But that's like saying I have been working my ass off in the office for a promotion, and some guy with less experience. Oh, now he's back. This is back to part timers who don't deserve to be in the main event or to hold the title. They shouldn't even be allowed back. And some guy with less experience comes to take my spot for a weekend to get paid what I make in a year. That's not a business. That's pathetic. Well, how could somebody with less experience uh, take your spot for the weekend and make your yearly salary? Do you get paid $50 a year? I don't understand. Uh, could I take your spot for the weekend? I don't even know what you do. I think he's wrestling related somehow. It's okay. It's good. And then I told him Brock and Goldberg are part timers because it's redundant for them to be on TV every week. They are special attractions. Yes, special attractions. That means you don't get to see them all the time, and when you do, it's a big deal. And I told him by this logic, Andre the Giant was a part timer and didn't deserve to headline WrestleMania 3. And I don't remember Hulk Hogan being on TV every week in the 80s. In fact, he hardly ever had a match on free TV. And this is true. You never saw Hulk Hogan on TV unless it was an interview or a promo or a segment for an angle they were doing, like on Piper's Pit or the Funeral of Apollo, whatever. Uh, and forget him defending the title on the weekly 1 hour shows back in the day. Uh, and the only time you would get Hulk Hogan defending the title on free TV was on this show. And he said TV in the 80s was nowhere what it is now. Oh, really? Uh, like I said, in the 80s, WWE had two uh, 1 hour shows in syndication on New York. It was Channel 9. It was you got one in the morning, one at night, All Star Wrestling or Wrestling Challenge, and then about 3 to 4 times a year on when Saturday night, when Saturday Night Live wouldn't be on during the off season, they would have Saturday Night's Main Event, which was really a pay per view, I guess, by those standards. And they were memorable. Those when Hulk Hogan would defend the title, and they would set up usually some big angle for WrestleMania or a really big angle. But what's TV today? It's these same fans that complain about Raw being 3 hours long and it's boring, which it is. And then at the same breath, they'll complain that there's too many TV shows, there's too much wrestling on, it's oversaturated. Oh, come on. So, and he continues, if you're not wrestling the whole year, at least twice a month. So that's the minimum. He has to wrestle twice a month. That's his rules. They have to wrestle twice a month. No need to be on the card at all. Okay, right. So yeah. I'm glad you're not a promoter. So if you have the chance to put Goldberg on TV or Goldberg in a pay per view, you're not gonna put him on. Yeah, okay. Who would you put on? Who would you call Nakamura from NXT? You think he'll sell out an arena 10 weeks in a row? Or you think he'll increase subscriptions of the network? Yeah, okay. And again, who cares about the title? They heard the Taz show. The Taz said he didn't like them putting the title, taking the title for Kevin Owens. But then Taz, a couple of sentences later, said that he admits that all the titles are props. And yeah, it doesn't mean anything. It just gives it the illusion of it being bigger. And again, listen, they have plans for after WrestleMania. And likely Lesnar is going to get another title run. And again, like last year, 2 years ago, he's not going to defend it on TV. He's only going to defend it on pay-per-view. And it's going to have a big fight feel. And these people say, "Oh no, they can't. You can't do that. It sucks that the title's not on Raw." Listen, last time Lesnar was the champion and he didn't defend the title, if you remember, that gave the opportunity to a lot of guys. A lot of stars were highlighted it. It focused on a lot of guys instead of just the champion coming out in the beginning of the show of Raw and a 20-minute boring promo and then setting up a main event and blah blah blah. Get over it. And it kept going again. It's 2017. Goldberg and Brock Lesnar are not the ones who should be champions. Well, who should be the champions? And I asked, who in the last 5 years or 3 years was champion that took the product to new heights of boosted ratings? The only performers that even came close was CM Punk, 2011, 2012. Yeah, he had that, what was it, 453 days consecutive. The criticism with that run was that he was booked primarily in the mid card, but who cares? I guess in hindsight. But he quit, and now he's people are still chanting his name 3 years later, and they were chanting it this week. How many people have their name chanted by the fans 3 years after they've been off TV? And then Daniel Bryan, he took the world by storm. People still do the yes chant. Yeah, Daniel Bryan was a great story, but the criticism of him was he's too small in the land of giants. I mean, come on, if he has to go up against Brock Lesnar or the Undertaker, it doesn't look believable. And then of course you had Brock, who had his title run, and it had every time he went on pay-per-view and defended the title, it had a big match feel. Who that has been champion besides these guys that have taken the product to new heights? It certainly hasn't been Roman Reigns. They had to pull the plug on him because he was boring and fans were booing him. And Finn Balor, he got hurt in one day, not his fault, but he did. I mean, come on, give me a break. I mean, the only guy I liked that really had a really good run and could have been better is AJ Styles. I hope they give him another run this year as a babyface. So, of course, the Brock haters are still mad about ending the Undertaker streak. That's why they have so much hate for him. Oops. That's why they have so much hate for him. And they just, it's about the streak. He's not on TV. He's a part-timer. And then they'll bring up he doesn't like the business. He only does it for the money. Oh, well, what do you work at your job for? For Cheers? Or for hamburgers? But of course, then last year, these same fans, or most of them, when Triple H scripted himself to win the Royal Rumble and become WWE champion, and then he only defended the title one time in 2 months before WrestleMania against Dean Ambrose. No, they didn't say anything. He's God. He's genius because NXT. He runs NXT. He did everything. He's a genius. He's a promotional genius. They can't wait for Vince to die for Triple H to take over. How is he a genius? What did he do for NXT? He signed the hottest free agents from around the world, established stars, popular stars from all over the world. And then you know what he did? He actually put them inside a ring and gave them 15 minutes to 20 minutes and let them wrestle. Wow. I'll tell you, Triple H, I think we're only scratching the surface with him. And then, of course, like I said in the beginning, Triple H and Roman Reigns, they went on to main event WrestleMania 32, and it was the biggest bore fest I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen a crowd so unhappy to end the WrestleMania. So, I hope you like this new format. I'm just trying it out now. So, thank you for watching. And please like and subscribe. And let me know in your comments what you think about all this. Bye.